Yes, sir. New Lightsworn support. It's coming. Let's be prepared for it. Let's get it cracking. All right. Welcome back, y'all. We got the punishment and the JD. You can already see. So we got the one of each. We're just going to hop right into it. One JD, one punishment dragon, because we want to get that new fusion that they have coming out. Next up, so these numbers, these ratios, I'll explain them a little bit. We got the two Luminas and we got the two Raidens. Now, we have 42 cards because of a couple different things. This is a going first or going second type of build. We would rather go second. But until we actually get the cards and until I play with them more, I want to actually test these ratios because normally Raiden is the normal summon that you want to go with. But going second, you can actually just go into Danko instead because with these new Lightsworns, we actually can do a lot more special summoning and don't necessarily need our normal summon whatsoever. And because of these new cards, we actually want to get Lightsworns into our grave before we even really go on with too many plays. So our Lumina is almost a better normal summon because as long as you have the card to ditch, and let's say you have a Raiden in your graveyard, it's almost like you're normal summoning both. And then you have level 7 right there, easy, or you have 2 for a link or whatever it may be, plus then your Raiden can mill 2. It's a tuner. A bunch of different other things can happen. This with a Bestial is a Baron or a Chaos Angel. So that's why I'm just settling right now with 2 and 2. It's nice. And I don't know which way I want to lean more. If you want to go a third Raiden, you can even play Rhoda because it is Warrior. And if you want to do a tier element build, which is actually probably the way to go, you can search your whatever. The Warrior, you guys know what I'm talking about. Tier element, not Shayrin, tier element Rhinoheart. Tier element Rhinoheart is also a Warrior. So if you're playing Raiden and Rhinoheart in the same build, think about playing Rhoda. Or let's say you're playing Photon Thrasher. That's also another Warrior that you would want to play Rhoda in your Lightsworn builds with. Next up, we have the one Felice. Get him out of the light. And then we have the 2 Wolf. So the 3 Wolf. So right there you can see 4 different Lightsworns without even getting into the new ones. You need the 4 different names. Felice is a name that you would want to pump up to 2 at least, most likely, if you want to pump up any of the names. So Felice, because we have these monsters, it's a lot easier for Felice to get special summoned. But the issue with Felice is it has to be a monster effect. It cannot be your spells that mill her. So that's why you got the 3 Wolf and the 1 Felice. Felice we play, you can even cut Felice, but I do like that it's a tuner, and there is a nice 1 card combo involving Felice that I'll get to in 1 second. Next up, we got the 2 new ones, Weiss. Sorry, it's so gross. We don't have proxies, but these are the proxies. So Weiss is the Lightsworn that lets you place a Lightsworn from your hand on top of the deck to special summon itself, and then you mill 2. So it gets your Wolf on top of the deck, and then you can mill your Wolf, and then it special summons this and your Weiss. Your Weiss is also a tuner, so that is one way you can go into your new synchro. Also, its second effect, if it is sent to the graveyard, you can target one other Lightsworn and special summon it from the graveyard. So this is part of the 1 card combo for that. And last but not least, we have the 3 new Lightsworn Dragon. This is the one that special summons from hand if you have a Lightsworn in graveyard. So this is your 1 card starter. As long as you get a Lightsworn in the graveyard, so even a Foolish Burial, just to drop a Lightsworn, not one of these, just one that will stay, just so you can activate this effect. This technically it's not a 1 card combo because you do need setup for it, but once you do have a Lightsworn in the graveyard, this is a 1 card combo that mills 9. And I can actually get into that at the end of the video. I'll show you guys that. So that's it for your Lightsworn monsters. Not too hefty. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names to go with your punishment dragon and your judgment dragon. And depending on your ratios, like there's no wrong way really. Just keep testing. You'll figure it out. It might even be the best way just to play 3 of all of these that I just showed you, because these are the best ones. And you can even just cut Lumina, make it the 3 Raiden, and have a level 4 spam. That might be the best way, to be honest. Next up, we got kind of a toolbox. We have the Tearlaments Sharon and the Starliege Seifert. Seifert can add either the punishment or the Judgment Dragon from your deck, from your graveyard to your hand. And then Tearlaments Sharon is a special summon. It's one of your enablers that will start combos, but also it's an extender. But anyways, this can get a Lightsworn in the graveyard. You just want things that get your Lightsworns in the graveyard. So with your Judgment Dragon, not your Judgment Dragon, your Lightsworn Dragon, you can start with that 1-card combo that I was telling you about. Next up, you got your Druid's Worm and your Magnemite. Now, I'll show you guys in the extra deck. You don't play any other Tearlaments, but you do have some spice. So just remember your Sharon and your Bestials are darks. So just remember you do have darks in this deck. Also, you do have the Druid's Worm, or Destrudo. Druid's Worm. You have Destrudo. It's searchable by Magnemite. If it's in the graveyard, obviously, you can activate it if it's in the graveyard or the hand. You pay half your life points. This is Lightsworn deck, so you do play Punishment so you do play Psychic... I'll just show you guys. Psychic and... Yeah, that's right. I don't got an SP, so that's my SP. Get out of here. So you do play Psychic and Punisher. But anyways, your Destrudo, it's a way to blow up the board. You'll see... I play your Destrudos. Next up, so that's it for like your toolbox. Your Destrudo is more of a toolbox with these. These can be toolbox, but they're also like defensive. They're hand traps, as you guys know. The rest of your toolbox will be your Galaxy Soldiers. These get Lightsworns into the graveyard. You want to get cards into the graveyard, right? So Galaxy Soldiers plus most of your deck is light with your Lightsworns, and yeah, it's these Lightsworns. You got to play your Galaxy Soldiers, and your Tearlaments Sharon is basically a Twilight Sworn, in my opinion. So that's it for those cards. Last but not least, for the monsters, we got some Fenrirs just for some offense, some defense, some forcing. Especially if you're going second, if you special summon a Fenrir. Also, in the Tearlament builds, your Fenrir searches your other, it searches your Tearlament Kashtira. So, you got that. But yeah, Fenrir, play your Fenrirs, along with your Bestials. For monsters, you don't really have hand traps, you know. So, you're going to need as much help as you can get. So play your Fenrirs, and a Fenrir plus a level 4 is a level 4 tuner is your Psychic and Punisher. So don't forget about that. You can always bring out your Destrudo, targeting a level 3 to make it a level 4, and then use your Destrudo and a Kashtira Fenrir if you had to make your 11. And yeah, that's just, I don't know. There's just a bunch of different things. I'm not saying you're going to do those things. Just play your Kashtira Fenrirs. Just trust me. Next up, you have your spells. So this is what's crazy with this deck. This is why you might want to just play a pure Lightsworn build, because the search. So this is the best search card that has ever been printed. It mills 3 cards in a mill deck, and then it searches the Lightsworn that you need. It's only a level 4 or lower, so that's why we don't tend to play your level 5, the one that mills 2, the Celestia or whatever it is. We don't play your level 5 or your level 6 dragon or any of the other ones. They're not even that good. But yeah, this searches all your level 4s and lowers. So that's that. Your solar recharge, we do play this with a big Lightsworn heavy count because you're most likely going to have wolves and stuff in your hand that you'll be able to ditch. Draw 2, mill 2. This card is gorgeous, but the only thing is be prepared for lots of Droll and Lock. So if you want to play Droll and Lock yourself and then maybe some cross out designators, just, you do search quite a bit. Yeah, so that's that. But because it is a mill heavy deck, you don't necessarily, if you do get drolled, you can play through it, kind of. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, you're not going to want to play these if you get drolled. But it's back to 3. We're playing 3. 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Solar Recharge, 3 Charge of the Light Brigade, or 3 Charge of the Light Brigade, 3 Solar Recharge, and 3 Pot of Desires. So there's already 9 search cards, and you're not done yet because we play 3 small worlds. Why 3 small worlds? Well, guess what? If you have a wolf in your hand, you can small world your wolf, right? For either your level 3 Lumina or your level 5 light Galaxy Soldier. Okay, so spellcaster, warrior, they're like, none of their attacks, defenses, any of these things match up, right? So you ditch your wolf, your fleece, any unwanted Lightsworn. You banish either your Galaxy Soldier, your third one. You only need 2 of them, so you can easily still banish your third one. Or let's say you already milled a Galaxy Soldier, so screw it. So that's why you can also cut this and just play pure lights, because you can just play your level 3s, play multiple of these. That's why I'm playing at least 2, because I most likely want a small world away one of my Luminas to be able to search a Raiden or anything, right? So small world is another search card, ups your search cards. Not really search cards, because Pot of Desires isn't really a search card, and Solar Recharge don't really search, but your small worlds and your Charge of the Light Brigade search specific Lightsworns that you want, which are most likely your new Lightsworns, the Lightsworn Dragon or the Weiss. That's most likely what you're searching with those. And then this is just to dig. Just dig into your deck. It's going to be crazy. I don't think this deck's going to be at full power for long because of just how crazy it's going to be able to go. And I'm pretty sure I had a couple more cards. Yes, right here. Here's the rest of the deck. So, Foolish Burial, obviously, is a staple. Foolish Burial, just another, like I said, as long as you have this card, you can Foolish anything there. Now you got your 1-card combo. I'll show you this 1-card combo right now in 1 second because our last card is right here. We played 3 Super Polys. I told you, we're not trying to use our Shay Rin when it gets milled to fuse. But if we had to, we do play a Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So if we have any darks in our grave, we are actually able to make a Mud Dragon just to go further, right? But it also helps going first or going second. We can Super Poly away problematic monsters that our opponent is setting up for us. So that's it. You can also cut this card and then switch it around. Like I said, the other cards, you could play these in your deck. I was even testing this, but that's 47 cards. But that's 3 Dankos, and you could just make this a going second deck. And then you got your 2 Lightning Storms. 47 cards ensures that you don't draw your shit Lightsworns as much. And it's honestly not that bad because you dig pretty heavily throughout your deck. So it's not the worst. But if you just want to stay more consistent, 42 cards is really nice and clean. I wouldn't even want to stay at 40 flat because you mill so much. But anyways, so your Lightning Storms, your Dankos, I just keep those in the side deck right now and keep my deck a little smaller But yeah, to each their own. Keep testing. This is just what you guys can base it off of. This is a nice little test. But let's get into this extra deck so I can show you this one card combo. For our XYZs, we played the Kajashuki or whatever his name is. Basically, you can use 2 wolf. Doesn't even have to be 2 different types. So it's your wolf and your Felice. You overlay when this card is XYZ summoned, you mill 5 cards from your deck to the graveyard right off the bat. So like that's the point of this card, is the mill 5. You don't have to really, it protects itself from being destroyed otherwise by ditching one, but that's why you have that card. Next up, you have your Nova and your Infinity because you're playing Galaxy Soldiers, and this is a nice board breaker in its own. And like I said, you're using special summonings. So as long as they didn't like set no summoning limit, this is a great going first or going second card and a board breaker card. So I'm a huge fan. Next up, last but not least, for the XYZs, we play the Zeus. So you can make this attack with this, go into Zeus, and you got all the materials. There you go. You could also go into Zeus over top any of these. Just is there. To each their own, you can play around with those. Next up, for our synchros, we have the Black Rose Dragon. So with the Destrudo, as long as you have a Destrudo either in your hand or in your grave and you know you can get a monster on board that is a level 6 or lower, you can blow up the entire board. So Black Rose, just another way to blow up the entire board. That's why I love going second with this deck. You never know when I'm going to pull out the Black Rose. Next up, we have the Michael. Like I said, Michael, you pay 1,000 to banish any card. That's so helpful in this deck, especially when you're playing Psychic and Punisher and you're just trying to pay life points. With JD, you're paying 1,000 life points. With Michael, you're paying 1,000 life points. With Destrudo, you're paying half your life points. You can get this guy so fat, and that's why I like going second, because it doesn't matter how much life points you pay when they're not able to attack you and you're going for that OTK. So that's why I prefer the go in second build. Last but not least, we have the Chaos Angel. Yes, I don't have a Chaos Angel. This is gross, but you have a Chaos Angel, and if you can't afford a Chaos Angel, just play Baron. That's what I'm playing. I'm playing a Baron right now. But Chaos Angel is almost a little bit better. Baron for going first, but Chaos Angel for going second, for helping blow up those boards. You know what it is. You're definitely probably siding in a couple more of your Bestials. So Bestials and Lightsworn, especially when they're all level 4, they're free Chaos Angels. This is basically a Chaos Angel deck. You can play 2 Chaos Angels if you up your Bestials. And of course, last but not least, your Minerva. We're going to keep Minerva off to the side because this is the 1-card combo. One of the 1-card combo enablers. So we'll get to that in 1 second. Last but not least, you guys seen it. We got the gross SP Little Knight because I'm not dishing out any money until I know I'm going to a tourney. Then we got the Nightmare Unicorn and the Underworld Goddess. If you're going first, you can even try and get an IP Masquerena into here and figure it out. Underworld helps break boards. Nightmare Unicorn helps break boards. SP Little Knight helps break boards. This deck is honestly the craziest deck. This is going to be meta. This is going to be meta. Last but not least, we have the Garura and the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. These are your super poly targets. Also, if you want to up your tier element count, Garura would be more prominent if you're playing Havness, let's say. I just always end up drawing Havness when I have to go first, or I draw it for my turn, and it's just a pain in the butt. And I never really end up milling anything too crazy. Milling a wolf on your opponent's turn, going when you're on turn 0, milling a wolf isn't anything too crazy, but it is an enabler to get your Lightsworns in the graveyard. So you know what? Just maybe, we might have to throw Havness in this deck. So keep that in mind. Havness probably going in here. And your other tier elements will be in here too. So if you're playing like Kashtira tier element. So Yeah, you could think about that. Last but not least, your Enlightenment Dragoon. Now, I want to test play. I really don't know how feasible these cards actually are, but you're able to get pretty far with not too much. So I'll show you guys right now this one card combo. All you need is one Lightsworn in the graveyard. Okay, let's say you have a Lumina in the graveyard for some reason. Your Lightsworn Dragon is going to special summon itself from your hand because you have a Lightsworn in the graveyard. Your Lightsworn Dragoon will then send a Felice. You'll then send your Felice. Because it was sent by a monster effect, it's going to special summon itself. Now you need Felice because it's a tuner. There, right there. You sync those and you have a Minerva. Minerva's effect, when it gets summoned, is you send Lightsworns to the grave of different types. So this is a Beast Warrior of different types up to the number of materials. So if you used, let's say, 2 level 3s and a level 2, okay, then you could send up to 3. But you're most likely going to send 2. So the 2 that you would send is you're going to send a wolf. So you can't send another Felice. You're going to send a wolf. So this is on board. Your wolf will get special summoned. And to get another monster on board, you send your Weiss. This is a new one. It's going to target another Lightsworn other than itself and special summon itself. Now this is where you get your Felice back. So now you have your 2 Beast Warriors on board. You're going to overlay for your Kajiskushki, whatever his name is, right? So this is your graveyard. You got 3 different Lightsworns in your graveyard by this point, or whatever else you got. So you're not able to activate Minerva's effect yet because it's banish 4 Lightsworns from your graveyard to mill 4. But this is going to mill 5 right off the bat. So you're going to mill 5. And when your Lightsworn Dragoon, also when you sync, you get to add either a JD or a Punishment Dragon to your hand. So in this combo, you're also getting this searched to your hand before you mill 5. So when you mill 5, let's say you mill a Punishment Dragon and another Lightsworn, that you don't even have to mill another Lightsworn. All you need to do is be able to get one other monster on board other than these 2, and you can link off this for, let's say, your SP Little Knight, right? So you get your SP, and you have your Minerva, and this is in hand, and this, so you just link this off. Now you have enough Lightsworns in the graveyard. If you didn't mill nothing, if you milled zip, zilch, 0, nada with this on those mill 5s, you can just link it off as long as you were able to get one other thing on board, right? You could just link it off, and then your Minerva's live to mill 4 more. You just banish the 4, and you mill 4 more. So that is 1 card. You get this search to your hand, and you get guaranteed a mill 5 with these 2 on board. Minerva making it so that your cards can't get banished. Like, that's just not too bad. That's not too bad with 1 card. It's random, right? You never know what you're actually gonna mill. But if you think about it, this is a mill 9 off of 1 card. And what got banned for Tears was a mill 8. You know, it was the 5 and the 3. So a mill 8 with the Merly and the Kit Kalios. So this is almost even more broken. Obviously, you're not going to go crazy fusions, but let's say you mill more Wolves, more Felice, whatever it is, and you're going second. You already got these 2 monsters on board. I'm pretty sure the new Minerva is like 2,500 or 3,000. This is 2,500, and this is now live because it, like, let's say you just link this off or link both of them off, whatever it is, this would then be live to be able to special summon itself. Like, let's just say out of this you milled 1 more Lightsworn. Now this is game. 2-5, 2-5. That's 5,000, 3,000. That's game off of one card. So I don't know how feasible it is. I'm pretty sure this deck is going to be meta. I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to do some crazy shit with it, with maybe dangers. We've already seen dangers go nuts. You could throw some level 4 dangers in here and really have it going crazy. But yeah, that's it. That's my take on the deck. For the side deck, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see what the meta is. We're gonna have to wait and see how these cards actually perform, how relevant they are. We're gonna have to see the price point. We're gonna have to see a lot of different things. We're gonna have to see if there's another ban list even by the time this hits. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you're going to mix with this. I'm going to try out a Tearlament version, and I'm going to try out a Bestial version where you get your branded regames online and you really just try and get your level 10s, your Chaos Angels, and some crazy stuff on board. So I'll see you guys soon. Love y'all. All right? Deuces.